A continuación, CPS News.
Welcome everybody to CPS News with Jesse and Brent, the only news in your language, and that language is English, and I'm back from the dead.
I'm glad you're back,
Me
Brent.
too.
Thanks for being here today. Finally, everyone was asking about you. But today we have a lot of information to cover. You know, we have entertainment news, we have local news. David, the sports guy, is also back, so we have that, and of course, Voices of Vallarta. So stay here with us, 1 hour.
We got a full team. We didn't leave Jessie alone. I'm sure she's happy about it. But first up, let's do the headlines, and let's go.
Tonight on CPS News, federal investigators arrive at Playa Las Cocinas. The Punta de Mita beach dispute escalates as the FGR and Profepa both open formal reviews into possible environmental crimes. Nayarit's governor defends the mega project, 40 billion pesos, thousands of jobs, and a warning. Block the investors and the money walks. Hantavirus on the radar. Health authorities say the risk here is low, but airport and cruise terminal screening is stepping up. A pier enhancement project gets shut down just months after the pier first opened. Civil protection seals construction at Boca de Tomatlan over structural concerns. Restaurant Week is back. 51 restaurants, 3 weeks, and menus starting at 495 pesos. Plus, in sports, Iguanas Vallarta joins a national basketball league. Chivas turns 120. All that and more tonight on CPS News, the news that speaks your language.
Thanks, Maria. All right, first up tonight, a coastal land dispute in Nayarit is now drawing federal attention. Federal prosecutors from the Fiscalía General de la República, Mexico's equivalent of the Attorney General's office, have conducted an on-site inspection at Playa Las Cocinas in Punta de Mita in the Bahía de Banderas area. Investigators arrived with forensic experts documenting the terrain, the vegetation, and the coastal ecosystem, collecting photos, videos, and measurements as part of an open federal investigation into possible environmental crimes. Separately, Mexico's federal environmental watchdog, Profeca, met last Friday with community activists known as the Comité Punta de Mentense at the Chamber of Deputies in Mexico City. The group presented video evidence and technical data alleging illegal construction within the federally protected coastal strip known as Zofemat, a 20-meter buffer zone along the shoreline where the development is prohibited. Profeca's director agreed to an open, formal institutional review of the alleged violations. At the center of the conflict, a high-impact tourist development that local residents say is encroaching on public beach access and a protected coastal ecosystem. Community members say this marks the most significant federal escalation since the dispute began, with 2 separate federal agencies now actively involved. The case has become one of the most closely watched environmental and land use conflicts along Mexico's Pacific coast, and that conflict isn't just drawing federal investigator, it's now putting billions of pesos on the line.
Thanks for the info, Brent. We have been following this story closely, and we have more. In fact, Governor Miguel Ángel Navarro Quintero is publicly defending the Grupo DINE mega project in Punta de Mita, and he's not mincing words. Joe has all the information. Let's listen.
Nayarit's governor is now weighing in on the Playa Las Cocinas dispute, and his message to critics is blunt: push the investors out and the money walks. Governor Miguel Ángel Navarro Quintero publicly defended the tourism mega project being developed by Grupo DINE in Punta de Mita, warning that if the state, the company, and the community cannot reach an agreement, the investment could, in his words, grow wings and fly out of Nayarit. The governor put the numbers on the table: 40 billion pesos in projected investment over the next 4 years, 5,000 direct jobs, 15,000 temporary construction positions, and up to 9,500 permanent jobs once the resort complex is complete. Navarro also used the moment to tout Nayarit's broader economic performance, pointing out that while Mexico posted negative growth of 1.3% in the last quarter of 2024, Nayarit grew at 4.5%. Beyond Punta de Mita, the governor highlighted a second mega project in La Peñita de Jaltemba, a development called Nauca, backed by Mota Engil, Mexico, projecting 200 billion pesos in investment over 8 years, which he described as one of the largest in all of Latin America. Meanwhile, the community group opposing the Playa Las Cocinas project is not backing down, demanding the removal of a stone wall they say was built illegally inside the federally protected coastal zone. With information from Israel Torres, Joe Wasik, CPS News.
Okay, we've got a community drawing a line in the sand, literally. We'll continue to follow this story as both federal agencies move forward with their reviews. Okay, coming up next, frustration is boiling over in Puerto Vallarta, and residents are threatening to bring the problem directly to City Hall, literally. A call to action that spread across social media urged residents to show up at the municipal presidency this morning with bags of garbage in hand as a visible protest against what many described as a full-blown sanitation crisis. The trouble reportedly began roughly 2 months earlier when the city canceled its waste collection contract with a private company, as we know, called Red Ambiental, and took the service back under municipal control. Now, following the change, trash began piling up across hundreds of neighborhoods, with residents reporting chronic delays and missed pickups. According to community reports, more than 300 neighborhoods were affected. Some families even resorted to hauling their own trash and using private trucks and dump vehicles, unable to wait any longer for the city crews to arrive. Critics questioned whether the municipality had the operational capacity to handle daily demand, with only around 35 collection trucks reportedly in service. There were also questions surrounding how funds previously earmarked for the private contract were being managed. The Facebook protest call described the demonstration as a peaceful but direct protest designed to make the sanitation breakdown impossible for city officials to ignore. No official response from Puerto Vallarta municipal government was reported. And while residents continue demanding solutions to everyday challenges across the city, local businesses in Puerto Vallarta are also continuing to work hard to improve homes, businesses, and spaces throughout the region. Jessie has more now, and she's going to talk to you about Cerámicas Exclusivas.
Oh, yes, I will. And if you're thinking about upgrading your home or starting a new project, Cerámicas Exclusivas is getting ready to move soon, which means it's the perfect time to take advantage of their liquidation sale. And of course, they have special pricing. And you can check out their new Firenze digital tool that lets you design, visualize, and even get real-time quotes for your dream space. From premium ceramics to designer fixtures and smart home solutions, they've got it all. Find them on social media or give them a call for more information. Their number is 33 13 18 27 78. Cerámicas Exclusivas, the perfect choice for exceptional projects. And we turn now to a story involving public health and international monitoring efforts as authorities in Puerto Vallarta continue keeping a close watch on a virus outbreak, making headlines around the world.
Health authorities in Puerto Vallarta say they are on alert, but stress there is no cause for alarm, as international concern grows over a hantavirus outbreak that has claimed at least 5 lives aboard a cruise ship in the Atlantic. Dr. Jaime Alvaro Zayas, director of the 8th Health Region for Jalisco's Secretary of Health, confirmed that hantavirus was the focus of this week's Rapid Response Team meeting, a virtual session involving state health officials, the military, the Navy, and representatives from all 13 regional health districts. Authorities say international health personnel are now applying heightened screening protocols at both Puerto Vallarta's International Airport and its cruise terminal. Every arriving cruise ship is required to submit a manifest declaring whether any passengers or crew are showing signs of epidemiologically significant illness, hantavirus included. Screeners then conduct active checks for fever and respiratory systems. Dr. Alvarez Zayas was clear. As of now, there are 0 suspected cases in Puerto Vallarta. He also offered context on the virus itself, noting it is not a new pathogen. Hantavirus has been under international surveillance since the 1970s. It spreads primarily through contact with rodent urine and droppings, and human-to-human transmission is rare. requiring prolonged and close contact. The Andes strain is currently the only known variant that can pass between people. The World Health Organization has rated the public health risk as low, though it has cautioned that more cases may emerge given the virus's incubation period. Puerto Vallarta health officials say they do not expect cases to reach this destination, but will continue monitoring every arriving flight and vessel. With information from Miguel Gonzalez Guerra, Joe Wasik, CPS News.
Thanks, Joe, for that information. And yeah, it's a little bit of a scary time with hantavirus, but as someone who's married to an epidemiologist,
Yes.
she's not concerned right now. So if she's not concerned, I'm currently not concerned, but she's
Good.
getting a lot of questions.
I bet she is. Oh,
Yeah.
I wish she would take an interview so that we can ask her all these questions.
You can try. Good luck. She's she's slightly more introverted than I am. Just slightly. Oh, but well, whatever. All right. So it's time for On This Day. It's one of our favorite segments. We have a little bit of fun with you guys out there. So here we go with On This Day. Now, Jesse, did you do your homework?
Yes. I think I'm doing my homework right now, but let me hear what you have.
I'll go first and I'll go slow because it sounds like you did your homework más o menos. All right, so here we go. So first up today, Jesse, did you know it is Eat What You Want Day?
Yes.
What do you
yes.
want? You're on the spot.
Chocolate, and a little bit more chocolate.
I know, like a cupcake. It's always something sweet. Yeah, it's always something sweet.
I like that.
Eat What You Want Day. And so let's just continue with that theme for a minute. So if it's Eat What You Want Day, you know it's also Hostess Cupcake Day.
Oh, great.
Are Hostess Cupcakes a big thing in Mexico? Or
We
not?
have something kind of like that, but
Yeah.
we don't have the Hostess cupcake.
Hostess. Okay. How do you say hostess in Spanish?
Well, I think that's a brand. So our
Right.
one, it's a pingüino.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're probably better.
I don't
Hostess
know.
is okay. I mean,
I don't like neither one.
I was more of a ho-ho fan, which sounds kind of funny. We had Hostess made something called, it was like a rolled up, almost like a little burrito of chocolate and cream.
Yeah, I've
Probably
tried those. I don't like
not
them
as good
either.
as that. No, not as
I
good as
just
I
like
remember.
pan dulce. I think that's
Fair,
the best.
Fair. Okay. Last but not least, I'm going to break the theme. This has nothing to do with food. It is World Ego Awareness Day. I'm
It's
aware.
your
Don't
day.
even. It's my day. I'm aware of my ego. I know.
Oh my.
Okay, so hopefully with all that and my ego and all that food, we gave Jesse enough time to do
Yes.
On This Day.
Yes, now I have some information for you guys today.
Okay.
In 1904, legendary Spanish artist Salvador Dali was born. So today it's his birthday.
The melting clock. So yeah, he's got really
all
cool
that.
art. Okay.
Very cool. And also in 1991, the world lost reggae icon Bob Marley. Do you like his
wow.
music?
What year was that again?
1981.
81. Wow. Okay,
Yes.
that's wow. All right.
Yeah, so that's that. Also, I found out that today is International Day of Plant Health.
Oh, and
Yes.
my ego. It's me versus the plants. I win. It's my ego.
No. It's also
International-
Nurse Day.
Nurse
so
Day?
congratulations to all of you nurses out there, especially the ones here in Puerto Vallarta and Bahía de Banderas. Thank you for all that you do.
Love that.
And Women in Mathematics Day. Imagine that.
Well, I can imagine that. I mean, a lot of women are way better at mathematics than I. Well, not only did you do your homework for On This Day, you overachieved by 2. Nicely done.
Imagine that.
Way to
Also,
show
I
me.
just want to say really
more?
fast, I hope you all had a wonderful Mother's Day yesterday. I know I did, and mwah, kisses to my son and my daughter.
Aw, good job remembering that.
My
So
mom
there you
too.
go. That was On This Day. And I also hope you all had a great Mother's Day, but it is time to go to a quick commercial. But don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back. We got Capital Bank in the house, and they're going to tell you how to make some money on your money. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, and thanks for sticking with us. It's time for Voice de Vallarta, and today we're going to talk about a topic that has a lot of people paying attention: how Americans living in Mexico or investing here can make their money work smarter. Did you know that while some U.S. investment accounts are currently getting around 3%, there are opportunities in Mexico reaching closer to 9%? Plus, many foreigners still have questions about restricted zone property ownership, fideicomisos, trusts, and how to safely invest south of the border. So why not bring in the experts? Because joining us today are Regional Director of Capital Bank, Jason Lavender, and Financial and Trust Specialist, Pablo Nieves, to help break it all down in a simple and informative way. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice to have you all here again. Welcome back to you, and welcome to you, Pablo. First time meeting you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, let's jump into it because I said 9%, and I guarantee ears are perked up and listening, and they want to know, how do I do that? So for people hearing about this for the first time, how is it possible that an investment opportunity in Mexico can offer a return closer to 9% compared to what I mentioned in the U.S.?
Basically, in Mexico, we have we're the we're a fast-growing country. We're number 12 in the world right now, but it's projected that in the next 5 to 10 years, Mexico will be the 10th largest economy. And so there's lots of growth, and we're semi-underbanked, which means that credits here in Mexico are quite high in the sense that a mortgage, a prime mortgage here is about 12%. And then you have other loans like business loans that can be like 18%. Then you go to credit card loans, which can be 35, 40, even 60%. So there's a lot of high spread there for banks to make money because of our high growth and high interest rates. So we basically lend that money out and get a much higher return. 9%, we're probably the best in the market right now at 9%. That's locked in for 1 year.
Okay, good to know. That's a key piece. We talked off air about that. So, I would lock my money for 1 year for 9%. I think that's I think it's a great offer.
Yeah, the advantage is also it's locked in, so you know what you're getting. It's not market. There's no market risk. If bonds go up, bonds go down, you don't have any change. You know exactly what you're getting. And plus on the CD, it can spit out the interest, so you get it in your account every month. Or you can go to a pagaré, which compounds it, reinvests it every month. But a lot of our clients really like having that income stream where every month they just get that interest and they know what they got to spend for the month.
I mean, with a lot of uncertainty in the Mexican market regarding like properties right now, for example, and property values, that seems like a great investment. I'm on board with that for sure. So speaking of the investors, what kinds of investors are currently looking at moving and diversifying their money into Mexico right now, in your opinion?
It's anybody who has excess investment, but we have a lot of Americans and Canadians moving down here, and they, of course, like it much better because it's a much higher interest than they get back home. But also Mexicans, of course, like to have a steady income and know what they're getting. It's a good return. So it's anybody that's looking for an income stream, because some people might buy real estate and rent it out, but usually with those, you might get maybe a 6% return. So 9% is guaranteed and sort of less hassle than trying to buy a property and rent it out. So it's a good option for somebody that wants steady income stream.
Perfect. And I think that you actually covered this in the answer to your question, but this isn't a program just for the wealthy. Anybody can pretty much invest in it. Are there minimums that are required?
Yes, there are minimums, but if you invest it for 1 year, what's the minimum right now?
10,000 Mexican pesos.
10,000. So it's pretty much anybody can invest for that for 1 year.
Good to know. And Pablo, since you perked up, I have a question for you, sir. Well, first of all, welcome to the show. First time meeting you. Glad to have you here. So Pablo, many foreign investors hear the word fideicomiso, and I might not even been saying it correctly, but I know it's a trust. I know all about it. But they immediately get confused. Can you explain in simple terms for our audience what a fideicomiso is, or a restricted zone trust? What is it in simple layman terms?
Okay, perfect. So this is a legal instrument that it's required when foreigners are buying a property here in Mexico. At Capital, we can provide you with that service, and also we can help you step by step.
And really, what's the reasoning behind the fideicomiso in your opinion? Do you know kind of like the why we have it, some of the rules about it? Either of you can answer that.
Basically, it's a law that in Mexico, any property within 100 miles of the border or 50 miles of the coastline has to be owned under a bank trust fideicomiso. It was originally to keep foreigners from invading the country. The fear was that the Spaniards or the French or whatever would buy a bunch of property in a port and create a fort and start attacking us through there. So
Wow.
by this, they limited foreign ownership, and it just stayed on the books, and that's the way it is. There's great advantages because you are in a bank trust, which means if you get sued or if you get in an accident or something, they can't go after your trust. They can go after your personal patrimony, but your house is in a trust. So it protects you from losing your house in a certain way.
No, that's really interesting because I personally do know a bit about it, owning real estate here, but I never really thought about the protections behind it. So thank you for clarifying that. So that maybe brings us to what other misconceptions do Americans or Canadians like me might have about owning property in Mexico? Are there other frequent misconceptions you guys have to deal with and overcome?
Basically, a lot of people get confused because they say, I own it on trust, but the trust is for you, so it's just like owning it yourself. And other than that, it's basically the same. Really, it's you own it, and you can rent it, you can lease it, you can do whatever you want with it.
And then any misconceptions about putting money into like the local banking systems like Capital Bank? Do you ever have to overcome people that come in and they're nervous about that? Like, I've never had money in a foreign bank before. Do you have to talk people through that a little bit, either of you?
Yes, basically in Mexico, there's been very few banks have gone bankrupt and throughout the history of Mexico. And our banking system, since the Basel Accords, we have one of the newest regulations of our financial regulations are the newest, and they're very sound. So all banks in Mexico have high reserve requirements, and they're very solid. And here you're also guaranteed, like in the States, and kind of like the FDIC, here's the IPAB, which is the equivalent of about $200,000 per one account. And so it's basically the same banking rules of any bank in the world. So Mexico is very safe banking-wise.
Okay. And actually, that was going to be my next question. Like, my next question was for someone considering bringing the money, like what protections and legal and financial protections would they have? And you nailed it before I even asked it. So thank you very much. And that's an important one because back in the U.S., obviously, we're used to FDIC. I feel like that protection might even be at a higher level than even the U.S. covers, I think. Yeah.
Slightly, marginally, but yeah.
Yeah, that's good to know, though. That's really important. Now, I don't know the basis of this question. Maybe this was presented to me, but there's a rumor that there's currently a special discount available, lowering costs from $400 to $360. Can you tell me what that opportunity is and who qualifies for it, and maybe a little bit about what that is?
Yes, this is for the Fideicomiso fee. We have a special promotion. It's valid until July 31st, and it's open to all of the public in general.
Great. All right, so there's a little bit of a discount again, and then you get again that runs until July 31st, you said, correct?
Yes, exactly.
All right,
that's
so
correct.
that's it. Get your trust in with Capital Bank ASAP. All right, so another financial question here. With today's economy constantly changing, do you believe Mexico is becoming more attractive for foreign investment than ever before? Obviously, you guys work at Capital Bank, and you're right away going to say yes, but let's really put our honesty hat on. Is this the place to be right now in terms of foreign investment?
Yes, I believe, as I said earlier, Mexico is projected to go from 12th to number 10 as world economy. Mexico has a lot of natural resources, has a lot of coastal areas. It's a very rich country. And like everywhere else, there's turmoil and uncertainty in the whole world right now. But we're right next to the largest economy in the world. I think it's a good place to invest, yes.
Yeah, and you nailed it. There is turmoil and uncertainty in much of the world today. Things happen all over, but I definitely take your word for that. Thank you so much. So we're almost out of time, but not quite yet. So for viewers or listeners interested in learning more, what's the first step they should take before making any financial or property decision in Mexico? And where should they go to find out more? Do they go to the bank? Is there somewhere online? What do you recommend?
You can contact me directly at 322-120-6758, or I am based at the Marina branch, and we also have 4 locations: Zona Romantica, Marina, Flamingos, and Sayulita.
Great.
But we're also online. You can fill out forms there and get the process started. all the requirements or the basic requirements, an official ID, and a proof of residence, which could be a water bill, light bill, anything like that. And it's really quite simple, and you can get it started, but come into any of our branches or contact even through social media, Facebook, all those things. It's really quite easy.
Great. Well, we are officially out of time now. Is there anything else you'd like to close with before we move on?
No, we're glad to. We are the best bank for the expats in Puerto Vallarta, and we're kind of known for that. And we always have English spoken, and please come and see us. Glad to have you.
Love it. Well, thank you so much for coming in again, guys. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming back. And thank you. And nice to meet you, Pablo.
Yes, very nice meeting you too.
Absolutely. Okay. So our thanks to that team from Capital Bank for joining us today and definitely sharing how simple and stress-free modern banking can be. You heard all the great opportunities about and of course, your chance to earn around 9% annually, which is amazing, with clear options designed for you. So go ahead and visit Capital Bank, Sayulita, Flamingo, Zona Romantica, right here in the marina, or give them a call, just like he said, 322-209-0696. Capital Bank. Finances without complications, but now we got to move on. And speaking about business, investment, and economic growth here in the region, Puerto Vallarta also welcomes some of Jalisco's top industry leaders and government officials for a major business convention this week. Let's hear more about it.
Puerto Vallarta is hosting one of Jalisco's most significant business gatherings of the year. The 2026 Jalisco Industrial Convention officially opened this week at the Hilton Hotel here in Puerto Vallarta, bringing together government officials, business leaders, and representatives from industrial chambers and associations for a 3-day summit running through May 8th. Jalisco Governor Pablo Lemus Navarro headlined the inauguration alongside military commanders, state legislators, federal deputies, and the city's own mayor, Luis Ernesto Munguia Gonzalez, who welcomed attendees and underscored Puerto Vallarta's role as a hub for high-level economic dialogue. The governor used the occasion to tout Jalisco's economic performance, and the numbers he presented were striking. He said Jalisco grew 14 times faster than the national economy last year. Exports from the state expanded at nearly 9 times the national average, and Jalisco broke its own record for foreign direct investment, pulling in more than $1.25 billion, placing the state second in the entire country. Lemus acknowledged that challenges remain, particularly in job creation, but framed Jalisco's trajectory as a model for growth driven by private sector partnership rather than federal spending or debt. The convention continues through Thursday with conferences, working sessions, and roundtables focused on strengthening ties between industry and government and mapping out Jalisco's economic strategy for the years ahead. With information from MGG, I'm Brad Wright, U8 CPS News.
There you have it. And while business leaders and government officials gather in Puerto Vallarta to discuss economic growth and future development across Jalisco, another story closer to home raised concerns about public safety and infrastructure along the city's southern coast. Maria has the story.
A newly built pier south of Puerto Vallarta has been partially shut down just months after its grand opening. Jalisco Civil Protection Authorities placed closure seals this week on construction work at the Boca de Tomatlan Pier after inspectors found that a city-contracted company had cut into the pier's concrete slab while installing shade structures, potentially compromising its structural integrity. The pier, which serves daily boat traffic to the coastal communities of Yalapa, Quimixto, and Las Animas, was inaugurated in September 2024 and cost more than 45 million pesos to build. Importantly, the pier itself remains open. Boats are still running. Only the supplementary construction work has been halted. Puerto Vallarta Mayor Luis Ernesto Munguia acknowledged the project used an outdated design that did not incorporate recommendations from Jalisco's state infrastructure agency. He has pledged to follow all state directives, and he's outlined a 3-step plan: comply with civil protection orders, complete a structural damage assessment, and ensure the contractor redesigns the shade installation to state specifications. A structural engineering review is now underway to determine whether the damage goes beyond the surface slab. With information from Miguel Gonzalez Guerra, Maria Ammerman, CPS News.
Thank you, Maria. Now, meanwhile, another situation drawing attention at the municipal level involves the appearance of new advertising at public bus stops, installations that state authorities say may not comply with current regulations. Let's hear about it.
A wave of new bus shelters popping up across Puerto Vallarta is raising eyebrows, and the mayor is now promising a closer look. The structures have appeared throughout the city in recent weeks, with a notable concentration along the tourist corridor of Boulevard Francisco Medina Asensio, the same stretch where bus shelters were previously removed during a state-funded road rehabilitation project. Critics say the shelters are little more than advertising billboards in disguise, cluttering the visual landscape of one of Puerto Vallarta's most visited corridors. And their timing, just ahead of the FIFA World Cup, has fueled suspicion. When pressed on the issue, Mayor Luis Ernesto Munguia acknowledged the shelters are tied to a concession contract granted roughly 15 years ago, and suggested some relocations were necessary after construction on the Medina Asensio lateral roads displaced the originals. But residents and reporters noted the number of new structures appears to far exceed what was there before, in some stretches placed every 10 meters. The mayor stopped short of ordering their immediate removal, but pledged to work with the concession company, the state transportation secretary, and municipal transit officials to ensure proper coordination going forward. His bottom line, no concession company will be allowed to act unilaterally. With information from Miguel Gonzalez Guerra, Joe Wasik, CPS News.
Thanks, Joe. And speaking of decisions that affect everyday life, financial peace of mind is something many families and business owners are focusing on right now as well. Let me tell you about a great banking option. You heard about it with Brent. Capital Bank is redefining banking in Puerto Vallarta, designed for expats, investors, and seasonal residents who expect more privacy, more discretion, and real personal service. Also, enjoy personalized deposits, withdrawals, and direct access, all with competitive, transparent returns. No lines, no complexity, just smart, effortless banking. Plus, you can earn around 9% annually with clear options. Visit Capital Bank in Sayulita, Flamingos, Zona Romantica, or Marina Vallarta. You can call them at 322-209-0696. Capital Bank, finances without complications. Now, speaking of people making a positive impact, this past Saturday on Asphalt Radio, I had the opportunity to talk with Cesar from Banderas Cava Republic about the incredible conservation work they've been doing here in the Bay of Banderas, and now that dedication is earning international recognition. Let's check it out.
A Puerto Vallarta dive center is being recognized on the world stage. Banderas Scuba Republic has received the PADI Outstanding Contribution to Ocean Conservation Award, one of the diving community's highest honors, presented as part of PADI's 60th anniversary celebrations. The award recognizes the center's daily commitment to protecting the marine ecosystems of the Bay of Banderas through responsible diving, environmental education, and inspiring a new generation of ocean guardians. Representative Cesar accepted the recognition on behalf of his team, extending special thanks to PADI Regional Manager Jorge Martinez Terán for his ongoing support of the center's conservation mission. Looking ahead, the team is inviting the entire community to get involved. This Saturday, May 16th at 8 a.m., Banderas Scuba Republic will host a beach cleanup at Playa Camarones right before the rainy season sets in. Join Cesar and his team and help protect the bay we all call home. Banderas Scuba Republic, diving responsibly and protecting our ocean for generations to come. With information from Miguel Gonzalez Guerra, Maria Ammerman, CPS News.
Okay, everybody, be sure to get out there on Saturday, like Maria said. That's really important. And congratulations once again to my personal friend Cesar, Eric, and the entire team at Banderas Scuba Republic. We've been good friends for a long time, and they just keep helping protect the natural beauty and marine life that makes Puerto Vallarta so special. Great job, guys. All right, let's change up the pace and talk about investment opportunities now. So go with Soliva and Jesse.
Yes, all these investing opportunities. And let me tell you, Brenda, in Puerto Vallarta, the best opportunities don't wait, and neither should you. Soliva and Marina Vallarta is a pre-sale development designed for those who understand elevated living and smart investing. Prime location, strong appreciation potential, and thoughtfully designed spaces. Soliva is where your lifestyle and your portfolio grow together. Imagine waking up surrounded by comfort, designed, and everything Puerto Vallarta has to offer. Schedule your showroom, and you can do that at 322-183-3411. Soliva, elevate your life.
Clearly, the theme of the show is investing your money. If you're not good about investing your money by the time this show's over, I don't know what's going to help you. So that's great. Thanks, Jesse, for that. I appreciate it. I think we're about to go to a commercial. Am I correct?
You are correct.
Ooh.
We'll go to a commercial break, and then we'll be back with more information. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, everybody. Now, this next story happened just a short distance from our studios right here in Marina Vallarta as firefighters and emergency crews rushed into action Saturday evening after a boat caught fire in the Marina Slip area. Now, this happened Saturday evening. As most of you know from social media, a boat fire broke out in the Marina Slip area, and it quickly drew a major emergency response from Puerto Vallarta firefighters and rescue personnel who rushed to the scene to prevent the flames from spreading to neighboring vessels. And according to sources with close ties to the nautical community here, the fire was significant. One boat sank entirely. Two others on the site sustained some fire damage, though neither was a total loss. And a couple of additional vessels in the area also reported being affected, but to a lesser degree. Witnesses described a thick column of smoke visible across multiple points of the marina, and crews worked to bring the blaze under control. As of this report, no injuries have been confirmed, and the cause of the fire remains under investigation. The area is cordoned off as emergency crews work to fully extinguish any remaining hotspots. We'll continue to keep following the story, of course, and bring you updates, and thank you to Guadalupe Arce for this information.
How scary, but thankfully, at least at this hour, no injuries have been reported, and we'll continue monitoring the investigation into what caused the fire and bring you any updates as soon as they become available. Now to a very different story tonight, one involving a major criminal investigation expanding across parts of Nayarit and the Bay Area. Joe has the information about this scandal.
A major criminal investigation in Nayarit is now reaching into an unlikely place, a well-known regional meat company. Authorities in Nayarit, working alongside federal prosecutors, have linked the Carnes Selectus chain, which operates across Nayarit, Bahía de Banderas, Puerto Vallarta, and the United States, to a suspected drug production network, following the dismantling of a large-scale narco lab in the northern part of the state. Investigators say a high-value criminal suspect in custody led them to a property in Tepic tied to the company, allegedly used as a receiving point for packages connected to the operation. A raid on corporate offices followed on April 29th. 9 people have been arrested so far, 4 linked to drug manufacturing, 5 others tied to surveillance and information leaking. Prosecutors say the investigation has also uncovered a troubling layer: photos taken from inside municipal police patrol vehicles found on suspects' phones, suggesting possible infiltration of local law enforcement in northern Nayarit. Human trafficking is also now part of the probe. Authorities stress they're still determining whether the company's alleged involvement was direct or indirect. With information from Israel Torres, Joe Wasik, CPS News.
Well, that's a shocking story. Thank you, Joe. And as authorities continue investigating the case that has raised concerns across the region, we do now need to shift to something equally important for families here at home, taking care of your health and well-being. Jesse's got more, and it's, of course, about Hospital Joya.
Well, your peace of mind is the foundation of your well-being, and this may take charge of your health with a complete gynecological checkup, including pap smear, colposcopy, breast exam, and pelvic ultrasound, all for just 1,000 pesos. And if you need a procedure like a C-section, natural birth, or a hysterectomy, financing is available with up to 6 months interest-free on medical fees. Your Nurture Life, let us take care of you. Call today to book your appointment, 322-226-1010. The promotion is valid through May 31st, and restrictions do apply.
Wow, some interesting news today. Definitely the Carne Selectas, but also the boat fire right here in our backyard. Did you see it happening live? I did.
Yeah, I mean, you could see the the smoke, you know, and of course, after what had happened, everyone's kind of like a little jumpy when you see smoke. But thankfully, everything's good, everything's okay, and no one was injured.
Unless you own a boat, of course. But other than that, you're doing all right. But yeah, I got online right away and started posting that it was a boat fire because from the south, it looked like something bad. It was bad if you owned a boat. But again, we'll keep an eye on that. I am interested to see what caused that. And, you know, it's also a good time to reflect on, like, how was the response? How did they do? Because I've lived in the marina for years, many, many years, and I've never seen a boat fire. So it's going to be interesting to see how they reflect upon the response.
Really? I've actually seen one here at the marina, but they were really fast to turn it off. It wasn't a big one like this time. So.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, I think we need to take a break real quick, and we'll be right back. But we've got Dave, the sports guy, coming on set. You're not going to want to miss it. He's back from Canada, and he's ready to cover all the exciting sports of our area. Welcome back, everybody, and it is time for sports, which means Dave, the sports guy, is back after a 2-week break. Welcome back.
Yes,
hey, thanks. Good to be back. Yeah, it's nice to be back. It's nice and warm. I appreciate that. Yeah, I did not like that. So, all right. But let's get right into sports.
Let's do it.
And of course, the sports section is brought to you by La Playa Wine and Liquors. At La Playa Wine and Liquors, everyone is welcome. Looking for great variety, competitive prices, and exceptional service in Puerto Vallarta? Visit La Playa, a trusted name with over 80 years of tradition and excellence. Discover an outstanding selection of wine, spirits, beers, and premium tequilas from Mexico and around the world. La Playa, a tradition you can feel, a quality you can enjoy. Order easily through Uber Eats, Didi, Rappi, or Velos Mandados. Please drink responsibly. Okay, now let's do sports. Big news for basketball in Puerto Vallarta. Iguanas Vallarta has officially joined the Pacific basketball circuit known as CPS, one of Mexico's premier professional basketball development leagues. The announcement was made on Thursday at a press conference alongside Puerto Vallarta Mayor Luis Ernesto Munguia Gonzalez. The team will compete starting in the 2026 season, facing off against more than 20 clubs from across the country, giving Vallarta national exposure both on and off the court. Club president Jose Miguel Romero calls it a major challenge and a major opportunity. The front office is already building the roster and selecting a coaching staff for the campaign ahead. The CPS season tips off the last weekend of August, with playoffs in October and finals in November. Iguanas Vallarta taking Puerto Vallarta basketball to the next level. One of Mexican football's most beloved institutions just hit a milestone. Club Deportivo Guadalajara Chivas celebrated their 120th anniversary this week, reaffirming the values that have defined them since day one: brotherhood, unity, and sport. Founded in 1906 as Club Union, Chivas grew into a national symbol and the only top club in Mexico that fields exclusively Mexican players. That philosophy turned them into something far bigger than a football team. They're a badge of identity passed down through generations of families across the country. The numbers back up the legacy: 12 league titles, 4 Copa Mexico, 7 Campeón de Campeones, and a Supercopa MX. And today, under coach Gabriel Melito, a new generation is rekindling that fire, mixing academy talent with experience at Estadio Akron. 120 years in, and Chivas isn't just still standing, they're still fighting. And Puerto Vallarta's women's football team now faces a must-win situation after falling to Zapopan in the first leg of the Copa Jalisco 2026 semifinals. The Vallarta side came into the matchup with big momentum after eliminating Lagos de Moreno in the quarterfinals, but yesterday Zapopan managed to take the advantage in a battle many considered the true final before the final. Now, all eyes turn to the second leg this coming weekend in Zapopan, where Vallarta will fight to stay alive and keep the dream of reaching the Copa Jalisco final alive. One game, one more chance, one team representing Puerto Vallarta with heart, grit, and pride. We're behind you all the way, so let's go Vallarta. And that is it for sports. So for more news and information, let's go back to Jesse and Brent.
Nice. And full of rocket fuel today. I know we're running a little bit behind.
I know we're going pretty quick here today.
Thank you for being
We're
speedy,
going
but I know you're going to be talking about the Wind Festival soon, right?
You bet. 2 weekends from now, Wind Festival in Nayarit, and we're all going to be there.
Yay, we're
really
excited.
Good time.
Thanks and welcome back, Dave.
Thank you.
Great information. Now let's take a quick break from all this sports info and let's listen to some information about the My Health program from Hospitin.
Program, I would recommend it to anybody new that's coming to Puerto Vallarta, in that I've been a member here for almost 8 years. We have a lot of meetings usually once a month where we get to meet and interact with other members and also to share common concerns regarding health. And the facilities and care here at Hospitin is really excellent in Puerto Vallarta. The doctors are all very personable, they're very approachable and easy to speak to. And whenever I've had any utilization of services here at the hospital, it's been a perfect experience. I'd highly recommend it and encourage you all to take part in the My Health program.
Thanks, Jesse. So I've got more information that could impact your daily routine, especially for families with children in school. The state of Jalisco is breaking ranks with Mexico's federal government over the upcoming school calendar. This Friday, Jalisco's Secretary of Education issued an official statement making one thing crystal clear. The state never proposed cutting the school year short, and it does not support the federal plan to end classes on June 5th, no matter what you hear. The agency warned that the changes pushed by SEP could hurt student learning and throw thousands of families into disorganization. The only adjustment Jalisco is willing to make, temporarily suspending in-person classes in the Guadalajara metro area on the 4 days when World Cup 2026 matches are played in the city for safety, security, and traffic management. Plus, I'll be watching the games. Now, back in Mexico City, President Claudia Sheinbaum said the school calendar is still under review, a comment that appears to contradict her own education secretary, Mario Delgado. Jalisco's message is simple: children come first, school ends June 30th, period. Ari Rangel provided us this information. Thank you so much, Ari.
Yay, and all the parents are so happy that this, is not happening, and we're sticking to June 30th, until the kids are back into summer break. But anyways, now a quick message from Marina Vallarta Golf Club. Have you been? Well, add it to your list of places you should try. Make your Sunday count with a delicious brunch overlooking the Marina Vallarta Golf Club. Enjoy a full breakfast buffet from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. plus unlimited mimosas. Just 435 pesos for adults and 285 for the little ones. Easy parking at Paseo de la Marina 430. Reserve now 322-221-0073. And I love this next story because it's about one of Puerto Vallarta's most colorful and beloved traditions, and it brings together music, dance, international culture, and for the very first time, a little friendly competition in the kitchen.
The 20th International Folklore Festival Vallarta Azteca wrapped up this week with something nobody had ever seen before, a cooking competition. Dancers from 16 Mexican states, plus groups from Bolivia, Bulgaria, Colombia, Costa Rica, and Latvia, traded the stage for the kitchen in an event called Flavors of the World, held right inside the Emiliano Zapata Municipal Market. The rules? Simple. Cook a traditional dish from your home region using ingredients bought directly from the market's own vendors. The judges, local Puerto Vallarta chefs, had a tough call. Third place went to Jalisco. Latvia took second. But the winner, Chihuahua, with a slow-cooked pork dish, asado de puerco, prepared by dancers, Julio Cesar Mendiola Hernandez and Josue Efren Violante Cano. Festival director Antonio Salcedo called the event a milestone, proof that cultural exchange goes far beyond the stage. 20 years of folklore, one unforgettable new tradition. With information from Miguel Gonzalez Guerra, Eric Stevenson, CPS News.
All right, now let's talk about a group here in the Bay Area that has been working hard to make life-changing difference for children and families facing serious health challenges.
A local hospital and a children's charity are joining forces, and the results are making a real difference for kids with heart conditions. Hospital Puerto Vallarta and the Fundación Ayuda Corazón de Niño held a press conference this week to share the progress of their partnership focused on detecting and treating congenital heart disease in children. Together, they've already helped more than 350 young patients across Hospital's locations in Los Cabos, Cancun, and Puerto Vallarta. The hospital also announced a major upgrade, a new hemodynamics suite, and advanced echocardiography equipment, allowing doctors to diagnose faster and treat more effectively. The next medical outreach event is set for June 25th through the 30th right here in Puerto Vallarta, where children with suspected or confirmed heart conditions will be evaluated and treated. And the goal for 2026, at least 15 new cases attended at the Vallarta location alone. For these families, it's not just healthcare, it's hope. With information from Fernanda Bojorquez, Brad Wright here, CPS News.
Okay, that's it, everybody. We had lots of news today. You probably recognize we're talking really fast, but good night from CPS News. Good night to you, Jesse.
Good night, Brad.
And we'll see you back here once again next week on Monday night. Have a great night, everybody.
See you next week. Bye-bye.
Families across the country. The numbers back up